And welcome to the Civic Forum on Whispers 87.7 FM. My name is Uche Nogo. Always a pleasure to have you join us. Today we focus on an issue that affects virtually every Nigerian: taxation, workers' welfare, and the rising cost of living. Across the country, many Nigerians believe that they are paying more taxes and levies today than they did a few years ago. Well, we have this discussion lined up, but to help us unpack this conversation in the studio is our guests. Please, let's welcome our guest, Mr. Lanre Abidakun. He is our guest today. He is the managing partner of Lanre Abidakun and Co., chartered accountants, a reputable professional accounting and advisory firm known for its commitment to excellence. Today, he will help us understand the more complex economic and fiscal issues. We are honored to welcome you to our studio.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome, listeners. Good morning, listeners.
It's okay. It could be good morning somewhere else. It could be good afternoon
All
elsewhere.
right.
So that's still okay.
All right.
So I'm sure this discussion, a lot of us want to hear about it. What exactly is tax? We just hear the government is collecting tax. What is tax?
Yeah, there are a lot of misconception by so many people. I've heard people saying.
Could you start that again, sir? What is tax?
Yes, I'm going there.
Okay.
That I said tax, the issue of tax, there are a lot of misconceptions. People, not really know what tax is. Tax or taxation is a compulsory levy. A compulsory levy on citizens, taxable citizens. Because if you are not at a particular age, you might not be taxable. Taxable citizens. So it's not a voluntary thing because it's compulsory as given by the law of any country. So it's compulsory.
Why are we paying tax? What is taxation and why do we even pay it?
Why you have to pay
Yes.
it? There are a lot of, reasons why you must pay tax. Taxation is what government use to drive the economy of any country. They use it. Maybe you want to, if you say that, okay, a particular set of people, maybe they are adding more than a particular set of people, you will use taxation to even things out. So taxation, government, and how do government get revenue to meet its obligation? One of it is through major thing in getting the revenue in is through taxation. So for government to meet its objectives, to meet its obligation towards its citizen, they need money, and it is through taxation that they aggregate all these things. Maybe they want to do electricity, roads, education, and all that. It's through taxation.
Okay, so now that you've explained this, Nigerians believe that they are paying more taxes today than they were about 3 years ago. So from an economic perspective, is this perception accurate?
It is not.
Really?
Yes. And it's because people have not really texted the figures. For those who are earning, for lower earners, they are paying less than what as taxation or as taxes. They are paying less than what they paid last year. And that's why I said it's one of the things that the government uses. It's a tool, taxation, to even out certain things. But for those who are earning in certain bracket of income, they pay more, no doubt about it. But for those lower earners, Like, for instance, if you look at the tax rate bracket, for those who are earning less than 800,000 per annum, they pay next to nothing. It's even zero. If you're earning less than 800,000, you pay nothing as tax per annum. Please,
Okay.
per annum, 800,000
That
per
was
annum.
my next question, actually.
Per annum.
Okay.
So they pay next to nothing. Yeah.
So has the country's shift away from dependency on oil revenue, has it made taxation more important than it was before?
No, and that's why, you know, government, there's a form of tax that we call oil taxes, a form of tax that government still get from the oil, which is different from, we have various form of taxes. We have PIT, the one you pay on salaries, wages, and all that. You have CIT that you pay on, that are paid by corporate limited liability companies. And then you have the one that we call, what do you call, is a petroleum tax. I want to be specific now. It's a petroleum tax. So you have that one too, that government is still getting their revenue on oil. But all these things are put into the pool of federation, whether CIT and all that. They put them with the hydrocarbon tax. Yes, that's it. The one on petroleum. It used to be petroleum tax before they changed the law and all that. So government, majority of the taxes that comes to the government revenue now are from hydrocarbon tax. Not from the one people pay on salary go to the state governments. They go to state governments.
The state
FCT.
governments are eating
FCT.
a lot of money,
Yeah.
people would say.
Yeah.
Okay, so government often argues that taxes are necessary to fund development. What exactly should taxpayers expect in return?
My earlier intro, I mentioned one thing, that taxation is a compulsory levy.
We agree.
Yes.
Now, what do
That
we
is
get
what
in return from government?
you should not expect anything in return. I mean, what I'm saying, that is the way tax works.
Okay.
You can't say that because I pay tax, government must compulsorily do something for me in return. No. Though government need those things to service the country, to give you education, to give you good road, to give you light,
Now
and all
you're
that.
talking, sir. I mean,
But what I'm saying is that
Nigerians complain about paying taxes without seeing corresponding improvements. So for you to say we should not expect anything in return, I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, what? What about healthcare? What about electricity? What about security?
But the government they are doing that. It might not be enough.
Okay.
It might not be enough. And then what people don't really understand, I want to go a bit religious now, but the only aspect that I'm used to, which is Christianity, it is in the Bible that you must pay tax. It's in Old Testament, it is in New Testament. And then there's this popular one that everybody is used to, that is given to Caesar and Caesar. It's taxes. That's taxes. So
how important is transparency and accountability in encouraging voluntary tax compliance?
Yeah, well, that is left for government to open up more. That is, if you collect taxes, there should be a form of feedback to people that, look, they should know that this is what apart from the budget, that you say, okay, budget, we are going to collect this, because that is planning. We are collecting this, we are spending this. But at the end of the day, the government should come up and say, okay, we've actually collected so amount of money, and this is what we spend in details. That one will give people confidence that okay, all this money is well spent, being collected from us as taxes.
So businesses frequently complain about multiple taxation by federal, state, and even local governments. Is multiple taxation a reality, or is it often misunderstood?
Yeah, the present government have gone a long way to, they've annexed all those taxes, all those multiple taxes by the 2025, Nigerian tax law, 2025, that new tax law has tried as much as possible to eradicate all those multiple taxes and so on. And then since the commencement of that new law is this year, January, and then as time goes on, we will see much of the positive impact of the new law in terms of eradicating multiple taxes and other things.
Although the minimum wage has been reviewed, labor unions continue to advocate for further increase. What does this debate? Why do you think this debate persists?
Yeah, it will persist because if inflation, you see, have the inflation, the monster there. There is the monster in the economy that government tries to address, and that's why I said, when you ask the question that what is this tax for and all that government use it, to regulate the economy and so on. And I'm sure as time goes on, government is still looking at all the workings of the taxes. They will still do some amendment, watching how the economy is going on and all that.
Can government realistically increase wages while also depending on higher revenue, tax revenues? Do you think?
Yeah, they can. Government can still adjust. Like I said, what matters most is not issue of revenue alone, is the inflation. So government will look at inflation and how the thing is eating deep into individual pockets, and then still look at government. Look at government workers or workers generally, and see how they can still review the salaries.
So, how can ordinary Nigerians better understand their rights and obligation as taxpayers? Because the truth is, many people don't want to pay tax.
That's what I said. I will still come back to that.
Yeah.
Taxation is a compulsory levy.
We know people don't want to.
You don't.
People could
That
avoid
is what you would do. And another, the beauty of taxation too is that for a good taxation system, there must be penalty for non-compliance. The law must put it there. So for those who don't want to pay, the laws are there. Penalty, the penalties are there, which the new tax law have made much more stricter. So I will advise people to pay tax.
So looking ahead, if you were advising government today, what reforms would you recommend to create a fairer and more efficient tax system?
Yeah, the government, they are trying. The new law has not been fully, applied, and I know that they put a lot of works and there are a lot of review. The NRS, which people used to call FRS in the old law, they now call them NRS now. They are still doing some works, looking at the law and issuing out guidelines how to implement. Because it's a different thing. You're having a law in a paper and all that. NRS have to sit down and then look at the laws. How do we apply these laws? And at the end of the day, the ultimate is to make sure that taxpayers are the incidence of tax, the burden is not too much on taxpayers.
So finally, what message do you have for Nigerians who feel overtaxed and yet underserved?
Yes, the message I have is that the Administrative Authority of Taxation, which is NRS, they are still working day and night to ensure that this burden is lessened. They are still, it's a law that they are still putting up things, taking it back to National Assembly for review and all that. So they are there working and to make sure that the incidence on burden on taxpayer is lessened.
Do you think there should be continual education when it comes to taxation by government, so people get to understand this whole tax thing more?
Yes, there is a continuum, and the NRS, they are trying. I mean, it's just that most people, they have a website whereby they issue guidelines. And people should, log into FRS website. And then you will see all the guidelines being thrown out, chalked out there.
Mr. Lanre Abidakun, thank you for sharing your expertise
Thank
and
you.
helping us understand this more.
Thank you for having me. It's my great pleasure to be here. And anytime I call upon, I will gladly come over.
We sure will call you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us on the program today. Tomorrow we'll be back with another topical conversation. My name is Uche Nogo.